Alright, so this is going to be like my 5th time trying to record this video. Um, at this point, my mic isn't working correctly. I always get this like weird noise. And then my camera is not the best quality, as you could probably see. But we're just gonna roll with it and hope for the best this time around. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys how I'm able to top tick and bottom tick my trades and risk very minimal and have a high reward, so small risk reward type of thing. And yeah, so if you wanna have things or trades play out for you like these, where you're risking a little bit and have high reward. This was probably a really good day. This was another trade. So let me see. This was another trade I probably held for like 2 hours before I TP'd for about $1,000, risking maybe $250, I believe. Same thing with this one, and then I'm gonna show you guys a recording of one of these trades where I'm gonna go over. Let me actually back this up real quick here. So if we look at this one here, mute this first of all. So here we have my entry basically off one candle. People might look at this and be like, how do you know that's going to go up? Oh, you're gambling, you don't know what you're doing. But if you look here, I end up closing for about $1,000, only risking, why does that keep unmuting itself? Basically only risking $250. And the reason I have grown more fond to the idea of like taking low risk, high reward trades is because if you think about it, for the people that are taking one-on-ones where they risk $500 to make $500, you get hit 2 days in a row, and the third day if you lose, now you're back down to only $500 day profit. But if you're going for like a 1 or 2 or 1 or 3, let's say you're making $1,500 every day or $1,000 every day, but you're only risking $250. You can make $1,000 2 days, and then the third day, if you lose $250, you're still up for about what, 1,750? Yeah, okay, that's right. And yeah, so let me just get into this real quick. First and foremost, I'm gonna explain 4 concepts. So here's a basic one that everybody should know. AMD, which is accumulation, manipulation, distribution. The reason at this day that I was looking for longs, even though we dumped 600 points or 600 ticks, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. We are overall still in a very, very big bearish move. And we have no high time frame confirmation that this is where we go lower from. Okay, so keeping that in mind, I'm still looking for longs this day. Now, the things you want to look for before you come into the conclusion or have the narrative or the right conditions to take a bottom tick or top tick, whichever way you're going to go on the day, are 3 things. So you want to look for high time frame PD array, which is either hourly or 4-hour gap, or a new dog or new wog, bonus points if they overlap. High time frame and a low time frame SMT, where one asset or one indice or whatever you want to call it from 2 correlated assets, aka NQ and ES, take a high or low and the other one fails too, making that a high resistance high or low. And then the third one you want to look for is a CISD or break structure. So if I explain that too fast, you can go look it up. Sorry. But like I said, we dropped 600 points here. We're in a high time frame PD array, which is a 4-hour gap here. God damn. 4-hour gap in price here that we're yet to come back to. So now we have a high time frame PD array, overall still bullish. Now what we want to do is wait. So now here's another thing, or another thing you can think about that kind of ties into like the AMD or the market maker model. So every move, whether it's manipulation or distribution, has two stages to it. So let me see. I'm trying my hardest not to move the mic because then it starts making a weird noise. So we have first stage of accumulation, redistribution, and then we have the second stage of reaccumulation, redistribution. So now we come back down here, and what do we have here? We create this low. We already have both stages. We already accumulated the day prior and the night before. We manipulated lower. We have all the structure that we now built. We come back down here on both. ES comes back down and resweeps it, and so NQ doesn't. That is an SMT. Then the third thing you want to look for is a CISC or a break of structure, which we have here on both, which is very important. If the assets are correlated with an SMT and you get a strong CISC like you get here, you could enter off that, or you can wait for a small pullback and then re-enter. A lot of times, if it's a high reaction zone, you most likely you won't get a pullback. That's why it's better to just enter off CISC, have a lower risk, and just either ride it to EQ of the range, which is what it sounds like, equilibrium, so half of the range. And yeah, that's basically it. So you have the overall narrative of the market still bullish, so it's still going up. You have this 4-hour gap here that we tapped into, come back down. We create a high time frame SMT within the low time frame, so the 1 minute, and this is also an hourly SMT because this is 7:52 right before 8 a.m. Our new 8 a.m. candle on NQ fails to take this low while ES takes it, and now we have a CISD or a break of structure on both. And I'm sorry if these terms don't necessarily make sense to you. There's very quick videos that you can probably learn that from, and if you don't care to go learn what the terms are, then you probably don't really care to learn this. It is what it is. So now that I'm off of CISD, I have my stop at our low. I ride this to, actually I think I was already out here, but just to show you, this keeps riding for another 2 or 3 hours, I believe. I think we still go higher than this, so let's see. Yeah, so it's kind of a quick, easy example of how to catch a bottom tick for the market. And then obviously from there you can target either 5-15-minute gap, or if you really want to let your balls hang, you can target equilibrium of the range. Now at this point I was already up $1,000 across 3 accounts. I didn't care to hold for much longer because that's kind of my profit goal for the day. Anything else, and I'm getting too greedy, and you know, people go to work for 8 hours to make $200. So that's just my perspective, not to like be like kind of rub it in people's face, but like if you can't be content with $3,000 on the day, then I don't know what to tell you. You need something else. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully I didn't just kind of run through this because it was like my 2 million times, 2 millionth time. Anyways, yeah, that's it. I'm probably gonna be making a video explaining this type of trading, which is futures, and why I personally think it's better than like options where you're risking your own money to make money, which is obviously no shame in the game, but you know, if you can turn $100 into $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even if it takes 2 weeks, you know, that's still probably more than a lot of average people's jobs. So yeah, I'll make another video explaining the whole aspect of futures, why I think it's better, and what prop firms are and stuff like that, and how you could really go about this and actually practice trying to learn and eventually turning it into a career and maybe eventually quitting your job. I don't know. But yeah, that's it.